and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Sam, and...
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike. Welcome to ABC Interact. Did you do this part?
Yes, I did. You sound really sick.
Oh, God, I don't know what I got, but it's right in there, and it's not going away.
Oh, have you gone to see the doctor yet?
Doctors.
And what'd they say?
Oh, they said you're sick.
Okay. Maybe...
And I said, yeah, I know. And they said, you should take medicine. And I said, I know. And then they said, here's medicine. I said, thanks. That was four days ago. I just don't know what to do.
Well, I think maybe you should go home and just rest and not come to work if you're this sick.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or maybe check myself into a hospital.
Or that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since this week we're talking all about going to see a doctor. So maybe you're gonna learn a little bit that you might need to talk to your doctor about.
I should also call my mom and tell her I love her, because I'm not sure about all this.
Well, then maybe I will just have to go over there.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna do the article now.
I feel I need an umbrella.
Oh.
Seymour is seeing his family doctor.
Now, let's examine that swollen ankle of yours.
When I twisted it, the bruise wasn't there. Then it turned black and blew up to the size of a softball.
I took medicine. I feel great.
Much better.
Much better.
You sound a lot better too.
I don't think I can sleep later because I'm full of energy, but I'm breathing well, so this is good.
Good. Well, now I feel more comfortable sitting next to you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes, and so today's article is actually, it's a dialogue and it's all about seeing a doctor. It's called Seeing a Doctor About Your Problems, and this is part A. And we have two characters. We have Seymour and Dr. Quinn. So Seymour is seeing his family doctor, who is Dr. Quinn. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it and see how it goes. So Dr. Quinn says, now let's examine that swollen ankle of yours. Ouch. Ooh, okay. So unfortunately, it sounds like Seymour has a bit of an injury.
Yes.
And the doctor needs to examine that injury. So examine is a verb, and it means to look at something closely and to kind of figure out what's going on with it. In this case, since it's a doctor, they're going to try to figure out what's wrong with it, make sure it's not broken.
Yep.
If you've ever hurt your ankle, it can feel so painful and you think it's broken and then it's not.
Yes, exactly. But if it's something on the outside of your body, the doctor will often look at it very closely. Maybe they'll use one of those special things, like they might examine your ears or your eyes using special things. But yeah, they're just looking at it closely, the way you might examine something before you buy it to make sure it's not broken or cracked or scratched. And in this case, they're examining his ankle. Of course, your ankle is down there at the bottom of your leg. It's where your foot and your leg join. It's kind of that part that lets your foot flop up and down or twist or move when you're running or jumping or playing soccer. And if something is swollen, something like an ankle, that will hurt. When things are swollen, they're basically puffed up. They've gotten bigger, probably because they've been injured. We wouldn't really say, oh, the balloon is swollen because I blew a lot of air into it. No, it just got bigger. But when it's a body part, when blood has gone in there, or there's water under your skin, and things are getting bigger, and because they're getting bigger, it's becoming more painful, it's swollen. If you've ever hurt any part of your body and you look at it, 20 minutes, an hour later, and you're like, wow, my hand or my wrist or my elbow or some part of me got much bigger, you could say it's swollen now.
Yes, and this is actually if you play a lot of sports, you have probably had it happen. I've hurt my ankles a couple different times.
You played volleyball.
Yes.
That must have been hard on the ankles.
Yes, because if you land even slightly wrong, then you're going to turn or twist your ankle.
Right.
And then it gets all puffy. And But more recently here, if I get bit by a mosquito, then it gets really swollen.
That's true. Yeah, things can get swollen that way too. So how did Seymour end up getting a hurt or injuring his ankle? So now it's all swollen. He explains to Dr. Quinn, when I twisted it, the bruise wasn't there. Ah, okay, so you probably did this. I know I've twisted my ankle or sprained my wrist, you know, that kind of thing. You move it in a way that's a little too far for it to be safe, and it gets hurt. And often when you get hurt under your skin or on your muscle, you might look down again a few minutes or an hour or a day later and see a blue, brown, black, purple spot. Might be yellow. That's a bruise, okay? So when you hit yourself, not cut yourself, but hit yourself on something, that blue or purple spot, that would be a bruise, and that's when he noticed it. Then he says, it turned black and blue blew up to the size of a softball. When he talks about blowing up, it's not exploding. His ankle didn't just explode. That would have been horrible.
That would be really bad.
It became swollen. It blew up kind of like that balloon I was talking about. But of course not in the same way. And the black and blue there, he's just describing a bad bruise.
Yes, and so in here we had this word twist. So twist is a verb, and twist just means to kind of turn in opposite directions. And so you might twist the doorknob on a door when you want to go through it. Obviously, if you're talking about an ankle or a wrist or something that's like you twist it and you kind of bend it in a weird way that ends up hurting it. We wouldn't just say twist, well, I guess you can twist your wrist without actually hurting it, but a lot of times that's the word we use when you do hurt it. So you either twist it, you sprain it, or you break it. So twist and sprain are kind of in the same category of it's hurt, but it's not broken, and then obviously broken is, well, broken.
Exactly. It's quite safe to kind of twist your neck around. That's not a problem. But some parts of your body, they move like that, but they don't move that way so well. So twisting it will lead to an injury. And in this case, it got so big, it was the size. We're talking about his ankle, remember? It got so big, he described it as being as big as a softball. This is just a comparison using something from the real world that's about the same size so that I can get an idea of what you're talking about. Right, a softball is about this big. It's like a baseball, same kind of sport. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you run around the bases. Softball, though, is a sport with a slightly larger ball. So basically, he's just saying my ankle got to be about this big, about the size of a softball, and yeah, that's not normal.
No, that would not be good.
That's not natural. That's a problem there.
Good thing he's at the doctor.
Definitely, and I'm sure Dr. Quinn can help him out, and we'll see how she does to help him out after this, break. He got a sprain, he didn't get a break.
Hopefully.
But we get a break.
Well, I can tell you damaged it pretty good.
Yeah, it really hurts to walk on it.
Besides pain, are you experiencing any other symptoms?
I felt a little dizzy after I banged my head on the wall, but that went away.
That's good. Is there any ringing in your ears?
No, my ears are fine.
All right, so we are back, and Seymour is in pain. He's got an ankle that's swollen up to the size of a bowling ball, a
softball.
basketball,
Softball.
a football,
Slightly smaller.
a softball.
Okay,
It's
there
a
we
good
go.
thing it's not a football shape.
I think I think they might have to take off his leg if it's going to be a football
Yeah,
shape.
that would be really, really bad. Anyway, he wants it more the size of a baseball, because that's a little smaller. But now it's the size of a softball. It's in pain. It's injured. He's got a sprained ankle.
Yes, and so Dr. Quinn is going to have a look at it. She was
Right.
examining it, and so now we're going to see what actually is wrong with it. And so we continue reading, and she says, well, I can tell you damaged it pretty good. So sounds like, yep, it's pretty hurt.
She's a doctor.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
Swollen. That's right. It's the size of a softball. But she's saying, yeah, no, this is a serious injury. You damaged it pretty good. Doesn't mean you damaged it really well. No, it kind of means you damaged it quite a lot. This is kind of a serious injury here. And yeah, Seymour confirms that. He agrees. He says, yeah, yes, it really hurts to walk on it. Well, sure, obviously it's black and blue, it's swollen. It is very badly damaged, or he damaged it very badly. Now, when you damage something, you hurt something. You injure something. This is an interesting word because often when we talk about injure, we're talking about our bodies and having an accident and getting a cut and being in pain. Whereas we wouldn't injure your car by scratching it or injure your phone by dropping it. Damage, though, you can use for things. You will damage your phone if you drop it on the ground, or you will damage a car if you scratch it against a tree. But you can also say, yeah, I damaged my eyes by staring at the sun. I damaged my skin. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
No,
you
not a
will
good idea.
Damage your eye. You could damage your skin if you spend too much time out in the bright, hot sun without sunscreen on. And of course, if you fall down or, do something like that, cut your finger, you could say damage, but of course we can also use that word injure. But basically, he hurt himself. He hurt his ankle.
Yes, and so now we're going back to Dr. Quinn, and she's going to start to talk a little bit more about this and see, is he feeling hurt or injured anywhere else? I don't know what Seymour actually did, but we're about to find out that he also hurt somewhere else. So Dr. Quinn says, besides pain, are you experiencing any other symptoms? So this word symptoms, we use this quite a lot when we are a doctor or at the hospital or things like that, because the symptoms are the things that you are feeling that are connected to whatever your sick or injury might be. So if you have a hurt ankle, you might feel pain, you might feel muscle hurt, I guess. You might feel maybe some numbness or something like that. So those would all be symptoms of the actual injury. So she's double checking it. Do you have any other symptoms?
Yeah, and this is especially useful when we're sick inside our body, right? You might go and say, oh, I've had a headache for 3 days, and the doctor will ask you some questions, and then they might say, besides your headache, the headache, do you have any other symptoms? Oh, I've been coughing. Oh, my ears are ringing. Oh, my throat hurts. Things that the doctor can't see. It's especially useful if you tell them your symptoms or the signs of being sick, basically. So what other symptoms does he have apart from clearly a very badly injured ankle or damaged ankle? And Seymour explains, I felt a little dizzy after I banged my head on the wall, but that went away. Okay, that's another pretty serious symptom. He's feeling dizzy right now because he banged his head on a wall. He should have mentioned this.
Yeah, I think that might be slightly more important than the ankle.
It could be more important than the damaged ankle. Yeah, because right now he feels like he could fall over when he stands up. He feels like he stood up, he turned around really quickly for a few seconds, and now, whoa, the world is spinning around him. That is the feeling of being dizzy. If you've ever spun around or gone on one of those rides at an amusement park that kind of send you flying, if you've ever been in the ocean and have a wave kind of turn you over, and then you stand up and you're like, whoa, I feel like I'm gonna fall down, like the ground is moving and the world is spinning. I'm very dizzy. And if that happens because you're, at an amusement park or dancing or playing with your friends, that's fine. But if it's because you banged your head,
yeah, that's not so fine.
Might not be so good.
Yes, and so we had this word bang. So bang is a verb, and in this case, it's being used as this kind of to hit something really hard. And usually, it's not on purpose because we don't often say like, oh, I banged the wall with my fist. No, we would mostly do it if you accidentally ran into it, and so you banged it, and it's usually very hard, and it kind of sounds like the sound you might make, and that's part of why we have this word bang, because it's going to sound like a very loud clang or bang or this kind of sound. So he hit his head on the wall really hard, and obviously the wall is just the sides of a building, so we have the wall. So he banged his head on the wall. Probably should have started with Dr. Quinn for that.
Yeah.
But she's going to double check. And so she says, that's good, meaning that's good, you don't feel dizzy anymore. And so she says, that's good. Is there any ringing in your ears?
Oh, okay. So that might be another symptom that she's asking him about, ringing in the ears. So basically, in a quiet room, it will feel like he can hear a loud kind of ringing sound. kind of like that. You might have experienced this if you've gone somewhere noisy, maybe after watching some fireworks or being inside where there's loud music playing. You go outside, or even the next day, you might find, wow, it feels like there's a sound in my ears, even though the room is quiet. That might be ringing in your ears, and I guess it's a sign that your brain has kind of gotten shaken around in your head. But luckily, he says, no, my ears are fine. So no ringing in the ears, doesn't feel dizzy. He did bang his head. He might have a little bump. It might be a little swollen on his head, but I think his brain is fine, which is good news for Seymour.
Yes.
Because he's back tomorrow with more problems. Yes. Hopefully they're not brain problems, but we'll be back with more visits to the doctor with our unfortunate friend Seymour, I believe, tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Until then, take care of yourselves. Yeah. Bye. Bye. Oh no.
Seymour is seeing his family doctor.
Now, let's examine that swollen ankle of yours.
When I twisted it, the bruise wasn't there. Then it turned black and blew up to the size of a softball.
Well, I can tell you damaged it pretty good.
Yeah, it really hurts to walk on it.
Besides pain, are you experiencing any other symptoms?
I felt a little dizzy after I banged my head on the wall, but that went away.
That's good. Is there any ringing in your ears?
No, my ears are fine.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下这一课的重点单字。第一个 examine 动词，仔细检查。The dentist examined my teeth and gums carefully. 牙医仔细地检查我的牙齿和牙龈。Gum 在这里指的是牙龈，通常我们会用复数的形式。下一个单字 softball，这是一个名词，垒球。My boyfriend taught me how to play softball yesterday. 我男友昨天教我怎么打垒球。下一个单字 damage 动词，损害、伤害。Smoking can damage your lungs. 抽烟会损害你的肺。Lung 在这里是名词，肺。最后一个单字 wall 名词，墙壁。My mother put some pictures up on the walls. 我妈在墙上挂了几幅画。接着我们来看一下这一课的重点文法。第一个 blow up 膨胀、肿起来。Blow 的动词三态是 blow, blew, blown. 我们来看一下下面这个情境。
Oh my God, what's wrong with your face?
Does it look bad? My face blew up because I ate some shrimp yesterday. I'm allergic to it. 下一个文法 walk on something. 以你的脚踝或者是腿部来行走。After the car accident, Peter can only walk on one leg. 车祸后 Peter 只能靠一只脚来走路。最后一个文法 go away.消失、退去。My headache went away after I took the pill. 吃了药丸后，我的头痛就消失了。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Miramar Entertainment Park is a big shopping mall in Taipei City. Visitors can take the MRT to get to Miramar. Miramar has two parts, the Family Hall and Young Hall. The Family Hall sells formal wear and fine clothes. The Young Hall sells youth clothes. Miramar also has a movie theater with the largest IMAX movie screens in Taiwan. There is a large Ferris wheel on top of the mall. Visitors can see the beautiful Taipei city while on the Ferris wheel ride. Enjoy shopping and great views at Miramar Entertainment Park.
See you next time!